right with this. It had me, and then it lost me with the scratching.
What? It's a great song, man.
Yeah, it starts great.
Limp Bizkit Faith.
It ends annoying, though.
That makes sense after our discussion about Limp Bizkit, and then Darryl Strawberry and his wife, they have a little faith, don't they?
Yeah.
I think we
didn't plan that out.
No, we did not. I think we hit our God quota for about a year. I think we're good. I think we're good for a year.
We'll call these guys, you know what, Smack.
Yeah, from God to Godsmack. What a day, everybody. Jim Florentine in the studio. What do you guys think, really fast, before we get Godsmack in here?
He was look. It's not my life, and I don't quite get it, but. Look, they both came from a hellacious place, I guess, or a terrible place, and they're both doing okay.
Right.
So, hey, if it works for them and that's what makes them... She's genuine. If you went into crack houses in St. Louis and pulled this guy out...
That's pretty amazing.
You know what I mean? She probably saved his life, and they're happy together. It's it's not my thing, but...
I heard Darryl has been doing well lately, but I didn't expect that Darryl Strawberry today.
Yeah, I know.
He is a changed person. That guy was on his last leg. Lost everything. Like you said, fought colon cancer twice. Was being dragged out of crack houses, like Jimmy just said, by Tracy, his now wife. Just an unbelievable story.
There's a great clip of him on the internet of Brian Gumbel's Real Sports,
right,
about his whole story. I think they did it maybe like 6 months ago or something like that. Just going through the whole thing. It's really cool. And he's got the ministry in St. Louis, I think, where they live outside of St. Louis. He's got 2 rehab centers, like you said, one in Florida, and goes down there and visits and talks to these kids and stuff. So
how does he make his money now? Did they go into that?
They said he gets a little money from the rehabs. I guess he had some other people put money up. He gets a little from that, and just donations from the church when they come in.
Right.
So it's all about that. So it's not, but he gets his major league pension. Right. That's where he gets most of his money from.
And it's pretty obvious he doesn't want anything to do with baseball. I guess that might be a bit of a trigger, right, Jimmy?
Yeah.
The baseball
Plus, it's
thing.
depressing to think back to all those what you lost.
Right. So weird. You would think he'd want to check out a game or something. I don't know, but he has no desire.
It probably brings him back to that. That's probably why he doesn't want to go to a nightclub on the road.
Right.
Even if he's invited just to go have a soda in there. He's like, I don't want to go back to that lifestyle. And watching baseball.
Are you sure?
Realizing he could have been a Hall of Famer if he didn't screw up and all that other stuff.
Amazing.
Missing seasons and getting suspended and all that stuff. Yeah.
But what a turnaround. Is Sully outside?
Yeah, they're right there.
Yeah, let's get Sully. And who's with him? Is Shannon with him? Bear. Godsmack, of course, has a new CD. 1,000 HP.
They look exactly the same.
I know.
Exactly the same.
What's up? Hey, Sully. What's up, man?
Oh, my God. What's up, bro?
Jimmy's still around?
How are you?
What's up, Shannon?
Hello, man. How are you?
What's up, brother?
It's been a while, man. How you been?
Real good.
You guys look sexy as ever.
Oh, fuck no. You're the one not aging. We've aged. I don't know what you're doing.
Going up so early.
I'm here every day, man.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day.
Monday through Thursday, yeah.
Nice to see you again.
You too, buddy.
Sully, what are you doing that you haven't aged? What the fuck's going on? That's creepy.
I eat a lot.
You're eating a lot of pussy.
That's what Steven Tyler said. Keep eating pussy, my boy, and you'll never get wrinkles. He must have stopped.
Yeah, he did. He did fucking age a lot very recently.
You know Jim Florentine?
Yes.
Yeah, he's been on that metal show before.
Of course. I just want to make sure he knows you're in studio. We just had Darryl Strawberry in here.
Oh, cool.
Well,
We just seen him walk by, right?
well, he really loves God.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very, very
Not
religious.
Godsmack, but God.
He really loves
understand.
God, and we're just happy for him because he was in a bad place. He was on his last leg, and he figured it out. His wife used to drag him out of crack houses in St. Louis. That's how bad it was getting.
Oh, that's okay. That's where we are this morning at 8 a.m.
A bit of heavy lifting, that's for sure. So we did our. I don't know how that went. That's why I'm bringing it up. I'm sorry. It was a very intense interview, and they were talking God a lot. And
I'm always amazed at people who talk about God. Like I don't know what I'd say about him. Like I'd run out of shit to say very fast. He's done some great stuff, I guess. And I'm done. That's all I have to say.
Can you guys believe it's been 16 years?
Oh my God! Well,
98, right?
We're coming up on 20 next year.
20.
And February will be 20 years as a band.
That's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
What's the longest you've been split, or out doing your own project, or whatever?
This was it. We took some time off, and we ended up not. This is the first album in 4 years.
Is it 4 years?
Yep.
Wow.
2010, we came out with the Oracle.
Right.
So this was the first one in 4 years.
And how's it feel?
It's good, man. We're excited. You know, the band's rejuvenated, and we're all healed, and we're getting along better than ever now. And we're strong mentally, physically. You know.
What do you mean you're all healed?
Healed like our bones, you know. You get old.
Rehab.
Listen, we're not real old, but 46, man, after touring for 25, 30 years with all the other bands and the nightclubs, and
right.
it starts to squeak and ache after a while.
Did you guys feel like you needed a break just to get away from each other a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah?
For sure.
Yeah.
There's a story there.
Yeah.
No?
Well, was the break one of those things where you realized things were about to come to a boiling point, or did things happen and you're like, we'll take the break?
Yeah, we did so much work for a few years and kind of sick of each other, I guess, you know? It wasn't anything real major.
We were just tired, you know? We were on the road for a long time.
Yeah.
And we were tired, you know? When you're that exhausted, it clouds your judgment, and you start to think the wrong things. Like, well, maybe we shouldn't be, you know, maybe we should, who knows, let's see, we're going to just come off tour, and then, you know, if we do another record, we do another record. But it was just all because, you know, we were tired.
Right.
And looking back now, that's what we just needed a break. We need to learn how to pace ourselves better, you know? We're out there, we hit it so much, so often. And you beat yourself up. But if you go out there, you hit 7, 8 weeks, take a few weeks off, do 6, 7 weeks,
right.
Take a few weeks off. You know, balance it, man. That's the key to longevity.
You guys would hit the road for years at a time, right?
Back in the day.
Yeah,
like the first 3 records, you guys were out pretty much, did a record tour, didn't take a break.
It was a long. I got to tell you, the first 2 albums, I don't remember seeing my bed for over 3 years. I mean,
but a lot of chicks remember seeing it.
Not my bed. And if they did, then my ex must have been a lesbian.
God bless her.
And you went on, so you guys went on tour with Pantera too,
yeah,
right?
Man. Listen,
so how crazy was that?
You know what's funny about that? They're the band that snapped us out of it a little bit. Well, when 9/11 hit, that was really like the hand slap to the face to go like, okay, go home and take a break.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, man, we were running so hard. We were doing 7 shows in a row, 1 day off. 9 shows in a row, 1 day off. 11 shows in a row, 1 day off. And I'm going like, this is crazy. And so even Pantera looked at our schedule one day, and I remember Dime going, man, you guys play a lot of shows, huh? And I go, isn't that the way it's done? He's like, yeah, not on our clock. He goes, we don't tour back to back to back like that. And so we were like, all right, we're doing something wrong here. We need to check with management.
Right.
Who's booking this?
Yeah, but
It was getting rich off us, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how do you sing that many? Like, you can play guitar every day of the week, but I mean, how the fuck do you sing night after night without blowing your voice out?
I know. I don't know. And I was never a trained singer or anything like that. So I remember getting to the point where I was like really tired. I would get hoarse. And then you kind of break through the other side. You know, so after like 4 shows, you go like, I don't know if I could do any more shows. And then after like 7, you go like, oh, it's kind of coming back now.
Right. Have you had throat problems?
I haven't. You know, there was one episode in Europe that happened, but I've been pretty blessed so far that, you know, I unless I'm sick, and even, you know, when I've been pretty sick, I've sang through it. So I haven't had to cancel many shows due to voice.
Yeah, me and Florentine were talking, and your voice is right there still, man. Strong as ever, my God.
Yeah, it took a little bit to get this one back because we took so much time off, you know. It was rusty for a while. But usually when we get in a room, we're good after, you know, a week or 2. We just get, it's, what you're talking about, it's kind of like an athlete. You got to condition yourself again, you know.
What'd you do with your time off? Anything fun?
We did some solo.
No, I know. Projects. I love your solo stuff for real. Yeah. I went and saw you a couple years ago here in New York. It was
yeah.
Very different too.
Yeah, very different.
Which I liked a lot.
Yep, and these guys have done some stuff on the side. They did another Animal project, and then him and the guitar player Tony have a blues band that they do when we're just, you know, on a lull. But, you know,
we're musicians, you know, trying to keep playing.
Right.
And people say, like, yeah, what do you do as a hobby? Well, we kind of play our instruments.
Right.
Ride motorcycles.
Do you guys get creative? I'm always amazed with bands because creatively, for me, I have to deal with myself only, and I'm a terrible collaborator. I'm horrible. I don't know how 4 guys get into a room for 20 years and creatively stay on the same page. It's fucking near impossible.
It is. You know, it's like being married. That's near impossible, too. You know?
I wouldn't know that one.
Are you married and divorced?
I'm the last of the Mohegans.
I'm married 18 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
18 delightful years.
Yeah.
I was reading that it's going to be Godsmack Day in Boston tomorrow. I think. That's crazy, right?
They're giving us a proclamation. They won't give us the key to the city, though.
No, they're not going to go that far.
They said.
Oh, what's a proclamation?
Yeah,
like what
they say? It's your city today.
They snap on the gloves.
You ever think you would see that where they honor you in Boston like that?
They give you a day. They I guess they call August 6th of 2014 Godsmack Day.
Right.
I don't know what we're supposed to do with that. You know,
it's kind of cool though.
Thing.
Yeah.
Well, you get to be there for it? Is it like some kind of celebration?
Yeah, the mayor comes in and that whole thing and reads this
proclamation,
the plaque,
makes it very official.
Yeah.
But a key to a city they don't do anymore. Like, why do they not do that anymore?
I don't know. I got the key to Lawrence, Massachusetts.
Okay.
I still have that hanging on my wall.
Yeah, why don't they do the key?
Yeah, like it's not a real key. I mean,
someone complained somewhere. Obviously, it's just a goofy big key.
It's a safety issue. They can't have.
You know, some dumb thing happened.
The strip club's open at 7 a.m.
Yeah. So tell us about the new record.
Well, it's called 1,000 Horsepower. It's the first record in 4 years, as we said, and it's cool, man. It was really nice. You know, like I said, the band took a break, and during that break, there was really question marks on whether or not we were going to come back, return as a band at times. But, you know, we've always kept in touch, and it's not like we were ever really battling and fighting. We just, you know, we needed some time apart. And then when we started to go, okay, hey, you know, let's start talking about getting back together. Shannon and my guitar player Tony, they have a rehearsal space in Florida, so we went down there first. And they had written a batch of songs. I had written a batch of songs. We started putting everything on the table and carving it up and seeing like what was weak, what was strong, you know, what direction we were going in. But it wasn't really until we got back to Boston, we leased out this warehouse and we built like a headquarters.
Oh, wow.
Recording studio, jam room, warehouse, the whole thing's under one roof now. And when we started playing, man, that's when, you know, we were like, all right, listen, this is, you know, we put a lot of work into this band over the last 2 decades, and it was a special brand, you know, and there was a lot of magic in the room still, you know, and we were just like, you know, it makes you respect what you've done over the years and realize that, you know, you have to salvage this.
Right.
So, we got to work, man, and it's kind of a cool album, you know, it's got a lot of different textures and colors in it. It's still very powerful. It's still very Godsmack, but some songs have more of a punk feel to it. You know, those kind of just fell out of nowhere, and there's some really epic, artsy songs on it, and there's some quintessential Godsmack tracks on there to service the core audience. But all in all, we're really happy with it. We may have wrote 25 songs and picked the best 10 or 11 for the record. How
do you let each other know if something doesn't? That's another thing with bands that fast. How do you let someone know if like they think like they get this great idea and the other three guys are like, ugh. Like, how do you gently tell your bandmate that the idea that they like is really, it stinks?
I know. Do you ever go home at the end of the day like, fuck those guys? I know this is a good song.
I think that's what causes the problem.
Yeah.
Because you're married to something that you bring to the band. Like, I know this is good, and then the rest of the band has to tell you it's bad. That's got to be rough.
Yeah, no, we don't tell him his songs are bad, you know? All his songs are great.
Yeah, you just tell him, you know, maybe we'll use that one as a Japanese bonus track.
Right. Exactly.
And what happens to the other songs you wrote? You just kind of, do you go back and revisit them?
It's funny you say that because when we were back on the 4th album, that actual scenario is what caused a huge problem in the band. You know,
and that's what made Another Animal happen. Like, we did that because he said no to a bunch of songs that we felt were new Godsmack, you know, and so
yeah,
we
the
did
guitar
Another
player
Animal.
got really offended because, you know, we didn't use all the songs.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where you can't use them all, you know, and I have a certain amount of songs I bring in, and, you know, I've always been kind of the main songwriter since the beginning, so there was a certain time, like during the 4 record, where I opened the doors and, you know, I wanted these guys to do more writing. I wanted that kind of
plus
contribution.
Plus you had the writer's block going on.
Right.
Where he couldn't write. Right,
and they were writing a lot,
we had
you know.
like 35
But once
songs,
it opened up and we started writing, then, yeah, I mean, even now we can look back at the record. There was pretty much a 50-50 thing in there, you know. There was probably half of my material, half of their material. But, I don't know, Tony got on this thing where he was just like, really, I can't believe you didn't take that song and that song and whatever. I'm like, so it caused a lot of problems for a while.
Could you talk about the writer's block? I always find that fascinating, especially someone like you that you've written a ton of
he
stuff.
He would come in with like these black sunglasses on, and we would be in there, and we were at such a creative plateau, you know, and he'd come in, and I remember him laying on the floor one day and going, "I hate this song," and the song ended up making the record, but and we were all playing it. It was our song, and he's sitting there, "I hate this song," into the mic. And we're like,
it wasn't called "I Hate This Song." Right. We changed that.
Wait, how do you guys work? Will you write stuff down, or will you hear a beat and then start talking or singing into it? And like, is that how you get creative?
It's always a riff, always a guitar riff. Either Sully or Tony will have a badass guitar riff, and then I'll put a beat, bass comes.
Right.
Vocals usually come last.
Yeah, it usually starts with music first, and then vocal. There has been some times where vocals came first, like Voodoo.
Right.
That was written a cappella before any music. But it's rare, Usually it's, you're noodling around on a guitar, and then you start to get ideas melody-wise and stuff like that. But
what goes on in your head with the writer's block thing? I really want to go down that road.
For me,
it
was personal. It's usually personal things,
Where you're just distracted with other shit.
I was going through a really bad breakup. I was with my daughter's mom at the time. There's that whole thing going on when there's a child involved, and it's not working out, and it was a really dark place I was in at that specific time during that album, and I just didn't have anything, and I know these guys were working really hard, and they were in a much different headspace. And I've never had good luck in relationships for whatever reason. Doesn't work.
I understand. I'm going to guess the reason. It's probably the same reason I have failed at them too. It's just hard to say no to a blowjob in Kentucky.
On a Tuesday night, 10 o'clock. What else are you going to do? One Sports Center. It doesn't come out for another hour.
Yeah, it's difficult.
And then all of a sudden, all that goes, you get to a better place, and then you can start writing again.
Well, usually what happens is one thing will spark an idea.
Wow.
And then when that happens, the floodgates usually open. Or at least that's how it's happened, for me. And there was this one song, and what happened is I tapped into, I always write very generalized, but I do write about my life experiences, whether they be past or present, something that it's affected me emotionally. That's what I feel, is the most passionate. And I think kids will call you out on your bullshit today. They know when it's a phony song. They know when you're not real and someone's writing for you, whatever. And for me, it's been very therapeutic, and during that phase, I remember going I don't have anything because I'm so dark right now. I'm so there's nothing going on except for misery and fighting. And a lot of it was self-induced, because you're right. I was doing the wrong thing in the relationship, and it catches up to you. And that's what I tuned into. I was like, the first song I ended up writing was a song called Living in Sin, and it was just about my own thing. It was about me going man, when am I going to ever get this black cloud gone? But then again, I'm the one doing it to myself a lot of these times. Once Living in Sin came out, that it almost became the theme for the whole album. It was just one song after the other started happening.
Wow.
And the new record, the first single, 1,000 Horsepower, you guys wrote it in 5 minutes or 10 minutes?
It was a little
It just came to you guys pretty much, though?
It was fast, for sure. I mean, that's one specific song maybe happened in 90 minutes. Super fast. Fastest I've ever wrote a song, that's for sure.
Do you go back and look at your stuff and go lyrically and go or whatever it is and go fuck, I wish we had done that different, or are you pretty much happy with what or could you kind of go back and go I didn't say that?
I always wonder that about bands too. I wish that the words were a little different, or
yeah, I mean, there's sometimes you come across stuff when you're in a studio, you never really feel like you're done. I know in the mixing phase, it's just I don't know, you constantly look did we layer enough things here, but
there was a famous thing Keith Richards once said, that he would love to go back and change Satisfaction or whatever. So I think we're all like that, every musician. You can always, I could have made it better.
How do you change Satisfaction?
I know.
Did he ever explain that further?
I think what he meant was that we're never satisfied as musicians with what we've done.
Sure.
Even if it's Satisfaction,
But but you got to get to the point where you go, all right, this is it. And you got to just push it off.
That's the thing. That's the toughest thing I've realized, whether it be recording or mixing, is you got to know when to pull the plug and go, just step back and listen to it as a song, because you get so involved with the details that most of you guys don't even really hear. You don't even hear half the things that we layer in there, but they're there, and the human ear does pick up on them, and it's what kind of makes the song whole and fluent and roll.
Right.
But there's a lot of layered strings and weird things that you don't hear in the background, a little shaker here or there, and those are the things that really make the production sound awesome on a record. And you have to kind of know when to say when. Have we done enough with the song, and move on?
That's where producers help, too. A lot of people don't realize, we talk about 1,000 Horsepower coming together in 90 minutes or whatever. But there's also 9 other songs on that record that might have taken weeks and changed literally 20 times, on arrangements. And and finally you got to put a fork in it at some point. Go, it's fucking done.
It's done, right.
Have you guys ever worked with Rick Rubin?
No,
but I heard stories.
I don't know if I want to now.
No?
Wait, why? What are you going to say about
Oh, no, I
him?
love him. I mean, I just love what he did with Sabbath album. I'm very happy with him.
Oh, man, that's
see,
nice.
but here's the thing that I really question, because I've been in the producing seat enough, and from what I understand now, I don't know if he's more like a mentor. He's like a guru. Like, he comes in and goes, the energy isn't right. Change that. And then he walks out, and you're like, that to me, I don't know.
Paying a lot
He's
of
not
money
in the
for that.
trenches with us. I think maybe I'd be upset with him.
And that's a big bill. You're paying a lot of money for him to say the energy.
But I know at one point he was probably in there. He was at the console.
getting
He was
dirty,
doing the
right?
thing, you
Yeah,
know.
getting his
now
hands
he's
dirty.
kind of like,
He just gets something. I don't know what it is he gets out of the. Maybe because he's a big enough guy to walk in, and I guess a lot of producers are. But to any band and tell them what he does, it's kind of hard to tell rock stars what's wrong with a song if you're not a big name producer.
Well, he told Sabbath, he goes, go. This is your second album. Go back to the first Black Sabbath album. You didn't do anything after that. Everything you learned from that first album, forget what you learned. And so this is your second album, pretty much. And that's where he put them in that headspace to go back.
That's
to
what I heard he
1970.
does with all the bands. Like
Yeah,
when I
Metallica,
talk-
the last Metallica record, Death
Yep.
Magnetic. You guys go play in a garage again.
That's right.
Go sweat in the garage and play it out like you have no money and stuff. So, the last two things that he did, Metallica and Sabbath, I loved. So,
Yeah.
the Slipknot record, he did Volume 3, Subliminal Verse, a great
speaking of
record.
that, though, I'm friends with Joey. The ex-drummer now.
Yeah.
They got a new drummer. Weird, but and he said like Rick Rubin would come in there and he had a big beard, and he said he'd just be sitting there stroking his beard. And he'd say no and walk out, and they wouldn't see him again for a week.
you know what I mean? That would frustrate me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joey said,
I
they
don't work
they
like
wanted
that.
to kill him.
Were they happy with the final product though?
Yeah, but again, it's Joey, but he claimed that it was Slipknot that did it, and Rick basically wouldn't even. Sometimes he'd just call from.
Yeah, then that ain't gonna fly in my.
Well,
book.
in Rick Rubin's defense, they were in Des Moines, Iowa. He's like, I'm getting the hell out of here. What am I going to do?
could be-
Go to the Applebee's across the
Yeah,
street?
but then you don't take
right.
the gig because
you're
they
right.
get paid a lot of money to do that, man. He's taking a big cut of that record. You need to be there in the trenches with us. That's the way I see it.
I agree.
You didn't learn the touring thing. I just noticed. We got your tour schedule.
Yeah,
You're
come on.
playing- you're
But
playing
we haven't
every
been out in a
day.
while. We only did 12 shows in the last 2 years, I think. We're ready.
I see your tour schedule. You're playing pretty much every day. Every day. Wow. You hit the road starting the 15th.
Oh my!
It's Uproar Tour, right? You guys are doing your
Uproar,
headline.
yeah.
Wow, I was invited to a thing you did last night.
That's mild.
How was your you had a small gig last night, like for 200 people or something?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was cool. We did a little thing for the industry and to let people know the record's coming out today. And, because here's the problem. We get this pop compilation that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And, we're not bragging, but here's the deal. The band did 3 #1 debut albums in a row. We're in a very small elite group of people that have ever done that.
6 other bands.
If we get 4 in a row, I don't know if any rock band's ever done that. It could be
Really?
history for us. And out of nowhere, they dropped this stupid pop compilation.
We
on
had
the
it like how they can like project or whatever. And they're
Right.
like, man, you guys might get it, and then all of a sudden, last week.
So we're rounding up all the Godsmack tribe. And we're like, listen, we have to get everyone to get it this week because
Right.
we need rock music to rule. We need rock music to be #1. Don't even worry about if it's Godsmack. Let rock music win.
Oh, wait a
Yeah,
minute,
that's
they-
a tough, because those pop compilations always sell a ton.
Oh, you
Every
think?
time,
You're like
yeah.
the number one.
Every 9 months or something, they put one of those out.
I know.
The
Yeah.
label just
They're
did
a
that to you
nightmare.
without asking you.
Well, we've tried to, you always try to strategically find the right week to release. You know?
Right spot, right.
You don't want to release with Rihanna.
And we were clean. We were clear. Like all
were
the
good.
big pop bands had already released their records. So we're like, yeah, we're gonna get. And then Capitol's like, oh, we're gonna just do this compilation of all the bands.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of rock music these
If we
days?
take it down, though, man, we're the
That would be amazing.
That would rule.
Oh wait,
I'm going to buy 3 copies today.
Me too.
oh wait, a compilation, but not a Godsmack compilation.
No,
No, it's all
pop
It's all
songs.
pop songs.
Oh, fuck
One
them! No one
Direction.
cares about that shit.
No, they do.
They'll buy, but then no one's going to go, do I want Rihanna or Godsmack? They'll buy one. I thought you meant they released a Godsmack greatest hits. I misunderstood.
The
Okay.
problem is the
Pop compilation.
kids will buy the pop.
Yeah,
That's the
all,
problem.
it's all the 13-year-old girls
I
with the
know.
braces.
Yeah,
that
but But won't they buy both though online now on iTunes and stuff? I don't think you think of it like you used to. You don't just go to a store.
Well,
and go,
here's the one thing that's good. Maybe we have a shot because all the songs that are going to come out on this compilation have already been albums that have been released, and they're just the singles off of those albums that these kids probably already have anyways.
A lot of the songs are old,
and they have to buy the whole record for it to count as an album sale. Otherwise, it has to be 10 downloads to equal one album.
Gotcha.
Right. You know? So they have to download 10 songs.
So if they're looking at it and they go, "Oh, we already have this song." That's I don't have that song, and they just download one track or whatever. It doesn't count.
All right, you got a shot then.
Yeah, we have a shot.
Got a shot.
Hold on to hope.
Yeah,
got a shot.
People do not buy them like we used to. I'm telling you, you don't just go to a store 10 because you don't need cash to buy CDs anymore or music. Just fucking go on your. Who looks at their account and goes, "I bought a record last week"? You just buy it.
What do you guys think of rock music? You think it's going to come back a little bit more, or
I
what?
think we're going to remind people real quickly what rock music is about.
You survived. You guys survived it, but there's a lot of bands that went bye because they're just listening to other stuff.
What irritates me even more is there's a lot of bands that are claiming to be rock bands that don't belong in the rock category.
They're pop. More pop.
Yeah. Imagine Dragon, you're cool. Go back into your alternative category.
Right.
We'll handle the rock department. You go play in that area.
I don't know them. Where are you at with Bieber?
I don't know anything about Bieber, but I do know that my 13-year-old daughter is nuclear over 5 seconds of summer.
They were just here.
God,
they were here last week.
At least they play their own instruments, right?
Yeah.
So,
but they have one song, right?
I mean, she's crying. I'm like, why are you crying? Right. She's just in the studio randomly crying one day, looking through her phone. She's all depressed. What's wrong with you? I'm just, Dad, these guys were like our little hidden secret, and they're just getting so popular now. I just know I'm never going to meet them. I'm like, oh, here we go.
That's kind of what happened to Godsmack back in the days when we were all in Boston. We started getting pissed off that the rest of the country was, digging you guys.
Yeah.
It was great for you, obviously, but it was our
you guys
it was our little secret. Not a little secret. You guys fucking just exploded. But yeah, when we had to compete with other cities with you guys.
Yeah.
So you can relate to that a little bit, I'm thinking.
Does she realize that you had that effect on people, or does she just look at you like you're just your father and you're not cool? Does she understand that, like, at one point women would look, because no one changed their phone number, by the way, more than you. No one. I have 50 different Sully numbers.
Yeah. So you gotta clean out the trash once in a while,
Right, you look at it like, Norton's got my number, I gotta change it again.
No, I'll just get a text. Hey, it's Sully, hope you're good. Do not give this to anyone.
But I guess the question is, does she realize she's got a cool dad?
Yeah.
I think she's getting to the point now where she's like, at least, she hasn't flipped on me yet. Shannon has a 16-year-old daughter, and so.
I'm not cool, man.
You're not cool.
No, she's into Kanye. Wow. So I can't compete with that dude.
Right.
I'm not like a genius.
Right, you don't have your own clothing line, and
you're not an asshole is what you really want to say.
But his daughter's also a few years ahead of mine, so he's always kind of prepped me along the way. He's like, okay, this is going to happen at 12, this is going to happen at 14,
and it always does.
Yeah, and it's right. He's right on. But I haven't got she hasn't gone nuclear yet. Like, I'm actually the cooler parent to her,
right?
Because her and the mom, but it's girl thing. They butt heads. It's like. But, I
can't believe she's 13.
But when it comes to music, she's, it's still like, okay, my dad's a singer of Godsmack, that's cool, but 5 seconds of singing, man, come on. One Direction, Harry Styles, my name's gonna be Skylar Styles. Oh, no. And then I'll be like, hey, that 5OS concert. She goes, Dad, seriously, you're aggravating me. It's 5SOS. Like, everything's a problem.
Have they seen you guys perform? They've been to your shows where they see you guys up there kicking ass, and
my daughter,
are they impressed at all?
Oh yeah, our kids have been with us since they were babies.
Yeah. Are they impressed when they see you guys?
I don't know.
Really?
I don't know if they're impressed.
Mine is. She's always like, "Wow, Dad, you play drums pretty good." I'm like, thanks. Kanye has a drum machine.
My daughter's on the walkie-talkie trying to fire all the staff in the parking lot. They're working for $4 an hour.
How many trucks for a tour now?
I think.
How big of an operation you guys running?
It's not huge.
We're going to have a big one this time. We scaled it down for a while. We scaled it down for a while because we honestly make no money.
Right.
Like when you can't sell records anymore.
4 trucks, 4 buses, something like that.
But this time we're bringing all the bells and whistles back out for the upper.
We're going to go old school. We're not going to do like the theatrical theater, like, video screens and all that stuff.
We're just going to blow shit up.
Yeah, we're going to go PA lights and pyro.
Good for you guys.
AC/DC style.
Nice.
Bringing the rock
And who's on the
back.
Uproar tour? I know Buck Cherry's on it with you guys, and who else? Seether.
Yeah.
I don't know who all the bands are, actually.
That should be good, though.
We
man.
got Skillet. I think they like God, too. They're one of those bands.
Skrillet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Skrillex.
Are they like a Christian rock band?
Yes, they are. Hey,
You're
it's
still
funny,
on
they're-
the God thing, huh? Someone
No,
messed you up this morning.
he just said that.
Daryl Strawberry put his hand on his shoulder. I think it did something to Jim. He almost passed out.
Yeah. I think he saw the Lord today. No, we're shell-shocked. That was a really strange time with Daryl Strawberry.
But they were very nice people.
They
It
were
was-
extremely nice.
They're committed and they're
We
genuine.
wanted to hear
and-
some of Daryl's stories because he's got
Yeah.
a few to tell, but he doesn't even want to talk about baseball anymore.
Really?
Well, it's tough to talk about pulling trains in front of your wife, though.
Yeah.
Back from the day, and they don't want to hear that
She
stuff.
we could have got her to go to the bathroom or something.
Oh, the wife was here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they wrote a book together about the struggles of. So you got to be
Yeah.
on your best behavior.
They're helping. They're
The
helping.
girls, man, they do it. I was just saying that the other day. They just ruin a man's life most of the time. They make you do stuff you don't want to do.
Daryl, I think Daryl was a little embarrassed at times, right, when she was really going off. He was looking down and like.
No, I don't think so.
They're trying to help married couples stay in there and figure their shit out.
I don't know, man. I'm just.
So, Sully, you've never been married before?
I'm single. I'm out of all of it. I'm out of the danger zone right now. Like, I'm just finally in a place where I don't have to answer to anybody. I can just go be me and figure that out again. Because
Good place.
it's been a while. I've been in a relationship for a while, so
Yeah.
You don't miss it.
I can't say I do yet.
Well, it's good now to going back on tour, so you don't have to worry about the phone calls after the show. Who you hanging with? How long? When did you go to bed? Why did I see you were on Twitter at 2:30?
I don't have to do anything.
None of
My
that
daughter,
stuff.
that's the only one that I talk with. I check in with her.
Did you ever have a text message found that maybe shouldn't have been found? I've had that happen. It's fucking awful.
No, I'm no. Yeah.
I think with that, it's time to play a song. Yeah. I think they got to wrap up,
happy.
actually. They got a lot going on today.
Oh yeah, let's promote. Obviously, you can get the new CD today on, I keep saying CD, but it's you can get it in the store. But go on iTunes. It's fucking fast.
You can get
We have
CD too.
vinyl, too. We have
And we have
vinyl.
vinyl.
And we
if you
put it
buy
on
the
vinyl.
record,
What's going on with the vinyl
You
thing?
get a free
Tom
download.
Petty,
There's a market coming back for it.
That's what Tom Petty was saying. I listened to a whole Tom Petty town hall thing, and it was fascinating.
Listen,
They said
I love that.
But everyone's trying to go with vinyl, and the problem is all the factories closed down that we're making the vinyl records, so there's a real long waiting list to get your record pressed.
It's not a big market, but there is a market coming back for it, and I just think that's cool because we all grew from that era with vinyl records. We're the last of that generation. There's actually a song on this record called Generation Day, which talks about the new digital world taking over the analog world, and one day our generation is going to be shot over.
Right.
Is that what the vinyl comeback is about? Do you think? Is it people who are like, we're realizing like, fuck, man, we are the last of something. We're trying to kind of bring it back and make ourselves feel like we're a little bit more relevant as a generation?
It's the younger kids that are turned on to the vinyl. That's the strange part.
It's people that are into sound, too. To sound on a vinyl record, especially the new
warmth,
vinyl coming out, is so much better than a CD or an MP3 you're listening
the new
to.
vinyl is better?
Oh, absolutely,
But
yeah.
it's become a hip thing. Like guys our age are not getting vinyl records for the most part.
Some are.
But not as much as the younger.
I
kids.
know, but
Jack White spearheaded this whole vinyl
Right, sure.
thing, and has stores. But they do sound warmer. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They really do. Analog just sounds better. But the cool thing I want to mention though, if you get our record on vinyl, then you can download it for free also. Anyway.
Oh, that's cool.
So
But
this
I will
way-
tell you this, I remembered why things have moved in this direction too, because from vinyl to cassettes, from cassettes to CDs now to MP3s, whatever. Because I moved my record collection the other day from my basement up to my living room,
Brutal.
and it's a lot of work to move 50 records records or whatever it is.
Yeah, in the crates and those milk crates.
Yeah.
But when you're home, I hope the kids, I hope they see what we've seen in it in the past, because back then it was a musical journey. You went out, like you came home with the new album, you listened to it from front to back. It wasn't like, oh, suck this song out here and download that song there, and I'm going to listen to this band and that. It was like you would listen to the whole record as a body of work from beginning to end.
It was an experience.
It was an experience,
Absolutely
man.
It was.
Yeah, and the sequence was really important. Yes. The first track, the second track, first side, all that stuff.
I still live by that. Even when we do these records, we sequence them in a way where you should listen to this record as a whole body of work. This isn't about ripping a single here and there. And no matter what album I've done, I've always had that mentality still, because that's how I was raised. That's how I learned about music.
Right on. What do you want to play today? We can play anything.
FML.
Yeah?
No, I don't care.
That's
my favorite.
Have you heard
song
any of it yet?
Yeah, we actually only the single.
Oh, the single?
1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, we just got this before.
The whole record's pretty strong, man. The second single is going to be something different. The first three are more like the new punky kind of things, What's Next, Locked and Loaded, those are a little bit more quintessential Godsmack, and then Generation Day and Nothing Comes Easy, those are a little bit more the artsy, epic stuff. So,
well, let's play something different. What do you want to play? FML?
He wants to play. One wants to play FML.
The other one wants to.
I like the whole album, so I'll let him.
Well, I just know that like Something Different, probably our favorite song on the new record, but it's I don't know. I figure everybody's probably going to hear that one soon. So if I want to play a song on the radio, I want to play one that might not get on the radio, like Fuck My Life,
Right. We can play both. I don't care.
Okay,
so why don't we play the one that everyone's going to hear, and then we promise you we'll play a FML later.
There you go.
No,
play
we'll
something different, and then close it out.
We have no problem. We don't have to worry about ratings anymore, so it doesn't fucking matter. Right. You don't have to spin the single over and over again. So
I just love how you can say fuck on here. That's cool.
It does feel good, doesn't it?
All right, we're going to play something different from Godsmack's new CD, 1000 HP. Sully, Shannon, it is a pleasure.
Out today, Geoff. We get it in stores.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make it number one.
You gotta number one.
Got to beat out the pop compilation.
Pop compilation.
Yuck. Here's something different. Godsmack.